We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Congratulations. We made it to the end of Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Best of 9 series. Congratulations. We made it to the end, or what I think is the end anyway, from what I've been seeing online. This seems like the conclusion of the, like I said, best of 9 series, basically, that they were going back and forth with. I like the play by Drake, though, how Kendrick came with the timestamp record, which is Drake's signature thing, and Drake is coming with the Heart Part 6, and the Heart series is Kendrick Lamar's thing, so I kind of like it. It kind of reminds me of, like, in wrestling, when you got, like, The Rock doing the Stone Cold Stunner, Stone Cold doing the Rock Bottom when they, like, steal each other's finishers and shit. I don't know. That's just wrestling nerd in me. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of delusion on both sides. And what this is ultimately going to come down to isn't who made the best songs, isn't who made the best accusations, isn't who the internet thinks wins. This is going to come down to who can provide the receipts. Both sides have lobbed some crazy accusations at each other, and I personally think whoever's gonna in time come out and we're gonna say who won this battle, it's gonna be down to who can back up their claims. But enough ranting from me. Roll one up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get it.
Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake.
I like the tone that he's taking with this shit. This is really like Scary Hours Drake. He should have took this approach like a few songs ago.
Streets would have had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not far down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in...
And that's what I said in the intro, bro. This is really going to come down to who can provide the receipts, who can back up everything they're saying on both sides.
We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in the studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove.
I don't know, bro. I like this. I like that he's actually explaining shit. I like that he's kind of breaking down, like, we fed you that information, and if that's true, huge swing and a miss from Kendrick. Unless Drake really changes my mind in the rest of the song, I think I side with Kendrick on who wins this, but Drake has won a couple battles within the war, but I think ultimately Kendrick has this. He's saying we fed you false information about the 11-year-old. We almost thought about giving you a fake name and a destination, a fake name and a place where she's living, but you're so thirsty, you're not concerned with investigation. Instead of you in Advantage Studio, it's a celebration. You got to learn to fact check things and be less impatient. I like that angle, because even before that, he said, I'm a war general, seasoned in preparation. Like, I'm doing my research, my due diligence and shit. You getting thirsty with the information, you should have fact checked your shit. I'm fucking with this.
Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is why you gotta listen for yourself. You can't just bank off what the internet's telling you. The internet's telling me that Drake wasn't saying shit in this track, but Drake's actually getting his shit off. I wish he would have dropped this shit like at the same time as Family Matters. I'm sure he heard Not Like Us, or he heard Meet the Grams, and this is his rebuttal from that, but I wish he almost dropped that right after Family Matters. This might have changed my mind a little bit. The Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. I'm not really understanding what he means there. Master manipulator, you bid on the speculation. Like, I baited you and you bit. You dumb and reactive. I'm petty and dedicated. I like that. What about the bones we dug up in your excavation? What about the shit that I'm talking about to you? Why isn't Whitney denying all the allegations that you beat her, that you cheated on her and stuff like that? The cheating we knew about, but the beating we didn't. Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? Dave Free, of course, is who Drake said she has a kid with, that Kendrick is saying is his kid, but it's actually Dave Free's. You haven't seen the kids in 6 months. The distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath the pics of that child. If that shit is true, bro, that right there, if that's true, that might change my mind in this beef too. It all comes down to who has receipts.
Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected.
Epstein angle? That ain't the person you want to be comparing yourself to.
And now this Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is...
Again, that really doesn't hold any weight with me because that's something Kendrick said on Mr. Morale. And also, he didn't even say that. He said he didn't get molested. His parents, his family kept asking him if it happened. He said no. A couple years later, whatever, they asked again. He said no again. And I don't think that was any like protection shit. I think it just straight up didn't happen. So that really don't hold no weight with me.
Wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna diss you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch my body.
So that's all. I don't want to diss you anymore. That almost sound like he, I'll say maybe not waving the white flag, but maybe he's like, man, I'm exhausted with this shit. I ain't dissing you anymore. I want to diss you anymore. This really got me second guessing. I think Kendrick is so gung-ho to like call out the pedophile shit because while he himself didn't get molested, from what I know, people around him have. He's been around that shit. In black families, like he said in Mr. Morale, is a long line of trauma, sexual trauma, shit like that. And he's breaking the generational curse. So while himself, he hasn't really experienced it, he's been around it. So that's why he's calling all this shit out.
I don't want to diss you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with.
Man.
Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too
Just to bring the Mariah Carey song, Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. Ah, man, that's just... I don't know what the right word for it. It's not corny, that's just... it's just gross, you know what I mean?
Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson.
That's not... Nah, bro. That is not the angle you need to be taking, Drake. I'm too famous for this shit? You already said, yeah, I can't be colorist, basically. I fuck white, black girls in the last track. And now here you're saying if I was fucking girls, I would have been arrested. Hell no, bro. You know how many people that aren't arrested right now that are pedophiles, child molesters, the worst of the worst, you know what I mean? Or the people that finally get caught and then you realize, oh, they've been doing this shit for years. I'm not putting that on Drake's jacket, but, you know, with what Kendrick is saying, bro, that is not the rebuttal that you need to have, bro. You need to tell your ghostwriters to take a couple more days and tweak that line.
Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to use the sentiment. The shit's too intimate.
Oh, that's a fucking bar. If Dave Free really fucking your girl and got her pregnant, and then this is fuck your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Breeding resentment meaning like resentment in someone when you don't like somebody, have disdain for someone, you kind of let the problems just bubble up. You start to resent that person. You start to not like that person. Just because them being them, you know what I mean? But breeding resentment could mean letting that shit build up to hatred. But you got Dave Free fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment, breeding, pregnancy. Yeah, that was a fucking bar from Drake. I'll give the credit when it's due, bro. I've been saying it this whole time.
Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross.
I'm gonna run that back and listen to it, but I think I hated that bar. What the fuck? I know what you were trying to do. You were trying to flip the A minor shit, and then I heard the piano get a little louder, so I don't know if that was a piano playing in A minor or something, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's not.
That's funny because Rick Ross's plane actually did have to make an emergency landing, and he blamed Drake, but I don't really think Drake had anything to do with it.
Like that one flight from Malaysia, I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker.
Nobody brought Millie Bobby Brown into this, bro. You brought that up. That sounded like a guilty conscience to me. They said underage girls as an overarching narrative, but they never specifically said Millie, so.
Screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker, dawg, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for
again,
later.
bro, you gotta provide the receipts to that shit. Cause he said the same thing about Zach Bia and Twitter bots and shit. And I've seen a lot more receipts for that than anything with Kendrick and bots, bro. So bring the receipts.
Extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't want to fight with a woman.
That right there sounds like waving the white flag, bro. That sounds like I've had enough. You can drop 100 more tracks. I'll see you later.
More records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand.
You know what? I would bet my house that Drake is playing R. Kelly still. And it's cool. I mean, I ain't judging. Kendrick is probably too. That's the claim he was trying to make. But I guarantee Drake bumping R. Kelly too.
Music and your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you.
Valid points,
like
bro.
Fantasia. Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor.
Eddie.
When I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer.
Woo!
I promise.
Yeah, I like the way he ended that shit. Whitney, hit me back if you need a favor. And when I say I hit you back, it's a lot safer. Going back to the woman beating allegations, hit you back. He's alleging that Kendrick is hitting her or hitting her back in self-defense. But Drake is saying, if you need a favor, I'll hit you back, but it's a lot safer. I mean, I'm not going to physically hit you, but I'll call you. I like that.
Yeah.
The beat switch.
I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working.
He's trying to minimize the shit, the fact that he's calling it quits.
And you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but
ooh,
it is what it is.
Yeah, he's still rhyming while talking.
You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. You go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one.
But he's got him though. That's the point. He's making these records. He's responding to shit. Their quality, like if this is a what do they call it? A war of attrition, just meaning like outlast the other person, then just by that, Kendrick won this shit. Just by outlasting Drake, he won this shit. Not to mention all the other accusations and shit like that.
You go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if he wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit. But you know, at least your fans are.
Drake sound exhausted, bro.
Raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you, bring you back to the game. Like, just let me know when we get into the facts. Everything in my shit is facts.
Everything?
I'm waiting on you to return the favor.
Everything? Man, I like this one a lot more than I expected to like this one. Just seeing what the internet was saying, you know, let them tell it. This shit was garbage and Drake stood no chance. But Drake definitely had some solid bars and shit on this. Solid accusations again. But if you can't back them up with any receipts, then it really means nothing. But I like what he was saying. I like majority of the stuff he was addressing. Some of the stuff, the way he addressed it was not it. And he probably would have been better off not addressing it. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think Kendrick won this whole shit between the way he just lyrically dissected him. Even if half the shit that he says is true, that's a huge stain on Drake's career. Drake, I think, made the better songs, but I don't think his disses were as scathing as Kendrick's were. And like I said a couple minutes ago, if this was just a war of attrition, if this was just see who can outlast the other one, Kendrick won that shit by default. Because it sounds like with this, good Drake track, I fucked with it, but it did sound like he was tapping out, waving the white flag. It sounded like he was exhausted as hell in the end when he was talking and shit. So if this is the last one that we get back and forth between the two, it has been a hell of a week, hell of a month if you date it back to like that. And just as hip-hop fans, we all win, bro. We all win. Name another time in your lifetime that you've had this much fun going back and forth, debating who won and shit. And either way, you cut it. I'll hear you out. If you say Drake won, I'll hear you out and I'll respect your opinion if you can hit me with some valid points. I disagree, but like I said in the intro, there's delusion on both sides. There's people out there that go, Kendrick smoked Drake. Drake put out trash. Kendrick, 4-5 to nothing. Drake didn't get him on any tracks. And then there's the other side to say Drake completely washed Kendrick and shit. I think neither of those are true. I think this was a best of 7, best of 9 series, and it was super close the whole way through. But in my opinion, I think Kendrick pulled it out in the end, if this is the end. Too dope on the dope scale. I appreciate y'all stopping by and kicking it with me today. If you fuck with the video that you just watched, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Check out another video I covered popping up right here. And remember, if it's not too dope, then it's probably mids.